Anyways, so I just wanted to talk about a few things. And usually it's at night. A lot of times, honestly, I almost don't even like coming across openly because there's a part of me that craves this open receptivity and to be able to go into any manner or measure of anything and just flow that out. But then there's always that other part that, the spaces of shame and the aspects we kind of want to keep hidden. So I fight that inner war between. But the thing I guess that keeps me going is even though I may have that end of the day, end of this life, why not be open? Might as well get those things out there. It's better than keeping it tucked inside. I've gone through those states of repression. Why even subject yourself to that? Get it out there. So something I'm going to talk about is the realm of what we so wish and desire out here, especially within the realm of relationships. And, I've come across quite a many amount of people in my time, and everybody has their different requirements for what they want. And it's like everybody wants this perfect man that meets X, Y, and Z. And my open nature will see and relate and understand. But I hope that I can paint enough of a picture back through to the core of the heart to be like, look, here's who I am. And here's where I'm at on these measures. And I really like you, but I'm not the perfect image of what you would so desire. And it's a terrible thing sometimes. Because then you get into the realm of personal hurt, personal traumas, people not wanting to openly discuss their own areas of woundedness. Then I'll be the first one to load it out on the table of like, bam, here's my demons. Like, here's my good, but I also have bad. And I don't want to hide my bad from you, But here's where like the duality and the commingling comes together. The only thing I truly ever want is just open honesty, open communication. If you can be openly honest and communicate things with me, even if I'm not going to like it or you're not going to like it, shoot. Let's put that on the table. I may have a lot of darker depths and passionate stirrings, but I'm not here to annihilate you in a bad way. Let's get together in the bedroom. Have some passionate stirrings and release them that way. We don't have to attack each other upon the external just because we might not line up in every way that we would so dream. But do we have enough capacity to connect? And what I also require as a self is, aside from the open communication, inner depth. Hold on, I'm restarting a song of mine. And I need inner depth because there's so much more to myself than meets the surface. People can easily fall in love with the outside. And the outside's a dime a dozen. But can you connect on the inside? And if you can, it's like, hey, so long as the accepting factor of one another is there, I really don't care of the madness you have going on in your life or mine. I care about it as in I want to listen and hear and feel you out. But understand, we're human, nothing more, nothing less. But on the flip side, if you want to have external laser vision to focus upon wrongs, it's like, whoa, hold up a second. I can already see areas that you haven't even revealed or discussed. And for me, it's almost like a telepathic thing. People don't believe in spirits or emotions, but we emote more than our words say. And, I have things that swim through and speak to me. Someone within me stirs through and swims in your waters and vice versa and exchanges back to me. I get a whirlwind of images, thoughts, voices, and I gather and collect it all. And there I am looking into you, wondering when you're going to reveal what it is that I already know. And that's not to be full of me, I've just always had that capacity. Majority times, most people are going to put those walls up and only present the best. Everybody else is the enemy. I'm the good person. Yeah, no offense. I mean, I get it. You know, that's how we want to come across. But I realize within myself that I'm human. And I see the humanity within you. And where things will go a lot of times is, at least in the traditional models, male and female. Female wants all this. Male, trying to be provider role. Bam! I am all those things. So they're both wearing these masks. They come together and slowly, as things. So strip away. It's revealed y'all weren't a match. Both sides lied. Usually the female is the better one at disguising those deeper, darker depths. That's why they say females can hold on to, I'm starting that song again, to pain more, you know, and hide those areas and aspects within because they live really repressed. Whereas a lot of men, they're fucking repressed too, but, you know, they have this image to meet. And when things start getting challenged, that's where they break apart. And unfortunately, I don't know, maybe most men aren't as forward thought. They're just here in the moment. When it comes to that time of meshing or battling, it's easier to tear them apart internally. The difference for me is I have both of those aspects inside. So I've swallowed a lot down, kept it hidden, lived within those realms of repression. Always super aware, super observant, and understanding. And I know when truth is being expressed or not. I know when it comes from a personal wound or not a personal wound. I can tell whether it's truthful or not truthful and see whatever side. You know, emotions are always a role, and emotions can be possessive. You can get taken over in the pure emotion of a moment. But as that subsides, one can gain a clear reality of what's going on. And if open communication doesn't exist, and people only remain within the halves of emotions, then there's going to be no congruency. So that's why I like open communication. Do you know enough about your own internal woundings and the spirits within? And what I say about the spirits within is the things that we keep locked within ourselves develop a life of their own. Part of our personality can externally manifest. It's like I have a whirlwind and an echelon of demons, but I also have the bright beauty and light of the angelic kingdom. And I use this more poetically because I don't like to solidify things. But I listen to both sides, and I hear the discourse and exchange within. So I always have a clear picture, highlighted Not purely from one side or the other, left, right, all that good stuff. But the calm eye within a storm. And I've never really met that. It's like I can either entice one side or the other. You know, I can speak to your darker natures and stir up all those beautiful, serene waters. But I've still never found acceptance. Whether within the self or others. I'd like to believe that I accept myself at times. Yet when one is met with the external reality, you're always going to find somebody that accepts you for this aspect and rejects you for this aspect. And we're a picture of many aspects. And the even funnier part is sometimes you can spend a lot of time, a long time with somebody, and they only see this one little piece, and they are determined that that's what you are. And it's like, nope. On the flip side, it's usually always loved that at least have enough open understanding to excuse things that I might not like. And what I mean by that is somebody may do something that I really didn't like or could cause a deep wound, but I can say, you know what? I see you and I understand and I can see why you did that. And that's fine. But I've never met the flip side of somebody saying, hey, I can see where you're coming from, and I can see what you've been through. And that's fine. Usually it's always me saying, hey, you know, I see you. And I love you. And I accept this. But I still have to retract into my own personal space because I'm not met the same way. Because my ecumenicalness has triggered some kind of deeper wound that's been unresolved. And we all have unresolved wounds. I do too. But to not be able to be seen beyond or stepped back and take a clearer mental picture, you know, it's where you do have to take a step beyond your emotions and gain a clear picture. I only hope such exists out here because I feel everybody has levels. And there's a certain point that they're willing to go. But beyond that, you hit the sky zone. And if you try to shatter that wall, be prepared to be met with that person's personal demon that is going to push you away and destroy and project everything an ounce and measure of pain as if you were the worst thing to walk upon planet Earth. But see, I swim through these angel demon realms. Sometimes I get influenced more one way than the other, but I maintain my own personal equilibrium. You'll never trip my feet up because my feet are too fast to move. And sometimes I do have to separate myself from reality. A lot of times I'll do detached awareness, or I have to transcend beyond the emotion and separate myself from it all, so that I can still speak truthfully without being emotionally encumbered. Because a lot of things could easily be taken as personal attacks. But really, you can see through to the heart of a person and where they're coming from. So I like to be able to highlight the totality, to show the understanding, but also to relate back. It's a tough line to walk. And the most times, the most terrifying thing that I face is the fact that I can understand another, but I never feel understood. So people love to come to me with their problems because I'm not going to reject or push away. And I can relate back to you clearly. And I get a lot of thanks for framing it in this way. And I enjoy putting a different spin and perspective of what's being gone through and showing people that they're not alone in what they're going through. You know, because I'm here for you too. But every now and then, there are those people that come closer than others. And I'm very thankful with those who I can disclose and through discourse open up an even deeper level than things that I typically reveal. And the reason I don't reveal those parts for the most part, when you begin to pick away at the psyche and you truly begin to examine the realms of the mind, the heart, and the passionate desires of the lower depths and the things that so stir us and have us to be human. Most have blocks beyond it all and aren't even willing to go through and truly examine what's within. So I'm willing to go as deep as you'll let me. And demons aren't a bad thing, because to me, demons are your passion. And you can transmute those energies into very beautiful expressions of emotion. And that can whisk over one in ways of beautiful, tender, caring, heartfelt ways. So I bid you adieu.